Okay, we should be recording. Yes. Okay, hey everybody. Nice to see you. This is the EquiChid info session for our Ecuador program 2026. We are so happy that you are able to join us. On the call, we have so many people. Two from Ecuador, two here in Coast Salish territory, and so this is a four-headed monster. There are really four people on the teaching team, about 15 students. So it's an incredible kind of instructor to student ratio, and it also benefits from just deep relationships. Juan Mateo and Javi are in Ecuador and have a lifetime of experience there. Um, we're going to hear more about this, but both Kelsey and I know Ecuador through our dissertation research and graduate study. So we're really excited to kind of share with you. So let's just do some quick introductions of the team. We'll start with Kelsey, and then we'll go to Juan Mateo, and then Javi, and then I'll say something at the end. Kelsey.
All right. Thanks so much, Tony. It's wonderful to be here. I am honored to be invited to be a co-director this year. Tony reached out, and I was just so excited by this opportunity to meet you all, to be part of this amazing program, and to, of course, travel to Ecuador and have some of those experience alongside you all. As Tony mentioned, I am actually Tony's graduate student, hence our overlapping interests in Ecuador. I'm currently working on my PhD about Indigenous knowledge and state politics in Ecuador, very broadly defined, still a work in progress. Um, and I guess most recently, I've been working on learning Quechua, which is also a work in progress, but it's a really fun goal to and definitely looking forward to practicing more in country when I'm there this summer. But mostly just looking forward to meeting you all and working with you all in summer 2026.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Kelsey. My name is Mateo. I am from Ecuador. I spent almost 7 years in Seattle. I have a background in medicine, and then I did public health, and then I landed in geography, where Tony was also in my dissertation committee, and so yeah, one thing led to another, and here we are. And basically, I did all that academic detour just so that I can land back in the land again, farming and growing food, and also learning from the land, from the plants, and from the people in Ecuador too. So Tony said it's a four people teaching team. I think he was a bit off because we are only the coordinators. The teachers are in the field, are people in the countryside, old people that have been doing this for way more longer than we have, and so those are the real teachers, and we basically just sort of make room for them in a way. So that's I'm also a student when we go to these sites. I'm just one more student with all of you, and we take it from there. So hope to see a lot of like, new faces, and hopefully, I mean, people that are interested in a wide variety of things. This is a course for many interests in one thing. So that's it.
Thank you, Juan Mateo. I continue. I'm Javier León. I'm from Ecuador. I work currently in Indigenous University in Ecuador, and when international organization that work with the indigenous and campesino people around Latin America. But with the university in Ecuador, I work with a lot of students, indigenous students, that are very interesting in the food systems, in the agroecology, and like Juan Mateo, we are facilitators the interrelations between the students from Ecuador with the students of the University of Washington, and with the social movements and indigenous movements here in Ecuador that have a lot of knowledge about the food system, about the agroecology, and the traditional knowledge about the food, no? And this is the our mission in this class, no? uh, make a bridge between the students from Ecuador and United States, and share the knowledge of the some of different interesting people here in Ecuador. No?
That's great. Thank you all. These are great introductions. I'll just say a little word about myself. I'm Tony Lucero. I'm one of the facilitators. I stand corrected. Juan Mateo and Javi are absolutely right. We really do the work of getting students to be in conversation with incredible incredible families and communities in both the Andes and the Amazon, and learning from all kinds of beings, human and non-human. So we take that kind of curatorial work very seriously, though. It's a work in relationality. It's a work in trying to be respectful, not be extractive. Really try to practice reciprocity with the folks that we are in contact with. And just to give one quick example, Javi works at Amaltaiwasi, the Indigenous Intercultural University that you mentioned, which is also a focus of Kelsey's interest. Last year, our students from the University of Washington helped the Amaltaiwasi students bring in the very first harvest. These are students studying agroecology with Javi, and for our students to be part of that first harvest was just really, really meaningful. It was incredible opportunity and a privilege, and so those kinds of opportunities are just are just really special. So it's just really exciting to be able to do this and to bring this program in a way that is helping hopefully to facilitate the kinds of relationships that Javi just mentioned between us in the United States, but also folks in the Andes and in the Amazon, and to continue building those relationships. So maybe we want to be a little bit more concrete about what the program looks like. So I think Juan Mateo has some slides that he's prepared. I'm going to make him a co-host so he can go ahead and share his screen if he wants to. And so we can see a little bit about what you might be in for if you decide to come with us to Ecuador, which is an early fall start, a great time to study right before the fall term officially starts in Seattle. So Juan Mateo, do you want to say a little bit about the images and the PowerPoint slides?
Cool. Yeah. So I'm basically just gonna show you some photos, maybe some names, some places, so that people start, putting locations and sort of making a mental map of what's happening. Um, I also recommend that you check out a YouTube video that you can find on the link on our website, or the program website, that was made by an alumni on the first cohort we had the 2 years ago. Um, but I can show you. Let me see. So I'm actually some of the images you'll see are taken by students as well. So I'm guessing, are you there? Are we okay? All right. So EquaChid, that's our official name. Uh, the EquaChid 2026 is underway, and when you when you hear about Ecuador, you may hear a lot of stuff. So especially if you Google like Ecuador news, uh, a lot of strange things may come up that may be like maybe do I really want to go to that dangerous country that's in like war with unknown, like very violence and narcos and all this news that you hear about Ecuador. But the thing is that while that is not a lie, it's true. Ecuador is in a state of crisis, but it's sort of our normality, and it's also very sectorized. It's very it's the our home base is called La Floresta, is a neighborhood in the city of Quito, and it is a very very artsy neighborhood, full of street life and things like that. And Quito itself is based on is a whole different thing than other cities that you may see on the news. So just that word of warning there. But our home base is gonna be La Floresta. We've moved this around a bit, and last year we did, despite a few one hiccup. Uh, I think this neighborhood is definitely our go-to place. Los Quipos is the place we'll be staying at. It's a beautiful sort of a hotel suites that students have you have your own kitchen. You can cook your own food there. There is, that photo there with the hammock. That's also Los Quipos. So it was a really nice setup. And we open up our program with a friend of ours called Edwin Humberto. This is sort of our opening ceremony is visiting Edwin Humberto, who with his family we make a pachamanca, which means a cooking in the ground, cooking in the soil. So we cook together. We dig a hole and we cook on the ground for the whole morning, and then we spend the overnight at his place with his family, and it's sort of a this we actually didn't really plan it this way, but it has evolved to be like a very important sort of group sort of formation start. Like it's a good way, it's a good place to start as a group. Sharing a huge meal together that we harvest and we cook and we eat together, right? Remember that our focus is food. Our food is our doorway, right? Food is gonna be the departure point so we can go into many themes depending on even the group interest, right? But food is always our sort of departure point. We also visit a few interesting collectives in the more like urban areas. The Cuica Cósmica or the Alliance Basura Cero, or the Zero Trash Alliance. La Cuica Cósmica is a permaculture collective uh, that are very active in academics and policy making, and they have all sorts of interesting experiments there. So we've been visiting them a few times. But sometimes it's La Cuica Cósmica, sometimes it may be another sort of urban collective that we are also sort of in touch. There are many such initiatives moving around. So this is I'm showing you a little bit of what we have done in the past, and what we hope to do as well on this year. But this is also like a fluid sort of situation, right? We also visit Machachi, which is where I am right now. This is our family farm, and we focus on dairy farm. It's our sort of our strength there, but with a sort of a focus of trying to do things a bit differently. We we try to focus on the soil, on the ground, on more more equitable social relations as well with the people we work with. Um, and you can have your hang around horses and cows and pigs and chickens, and yeah, and you can put your hand in compost. You can garden stuff and all sorts of activities for those interested. Nothing mandatory. If you don't want to shovel compost, that's okay. But as you can see, the compost truck there, it's usually a pretty fun activity. We take a little bit of a detour also to the north, Imbabura, to the Imbabura province, with a sort of a mixed interest, right? Sometimes uh, uh, we can do a little bit of a tourist, more like visiting sort of approach, but being a tourist is also a learning experience for for the tourist, right? And we take that opportunity to discuss what being a tourist can mean in these communities and what is community tourism and why, what is a sort of more of an ethical way of being a tourist in many of these rural communities. And Imbabura is really very interesting region. Tony has a long history with Imbabura, has plenty of acquaintances and that he knows there. He can talk more about that. But it's a very important region, a province, a couple of towns and cities that have a history not only in agriculture, but also in social movements, politics, indigenous politics, and many other aspects as well. In a similar ways, the old town in Quito, the centro de Quito, has a similar sort of historical approach. We take that similar historical approach to the centro de Quito, and those are just a very rich history that we can find there. I don't know if you do your own research about the old town in Quito, you will find interesting things. It's the world's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is the largest colonial, like Hispanic preserved old town in the Americas. All of these beautiful Spanish churches have a history of being, in sacred places for not on we people think it's the Incas, but no, it's before the Incas, right? It's very old. So the history goes deep there. And we take that approach too, we are also visiting, so we also visit with a critical approach there. Um, Amautaiwasi, that's the photo I found because I think it was an interesting story. I hope that the students can forgive my intrusion there. This is a photo by Moriel and Javi. I don't know, remember her name, your student. But
Ah,
the student is from the
Elizabeth.
Amautaiwasi. Huh?
Elizabeth is the name.
Isabel.
Elizabeth.
And one
Eh,
is UW student, and there was Tony was sharing, right? We shared that first harvest there, and we went to the parcel in the lot of land that Amautaiwasi has. We plan to go a lot more to that parcel this year, not only for harvesting, but also for as a discussion space, as a conversation space into this plot. So our partnership with an indigenous university is an important one as it sort of interconnects with what we're trying to explore, right? Indigenous knowledge. Then we take a road trip up the mountain and down the mountains into the Amazon basin. It's a 4-hour drive, so even though we literally change worlds, it's not really that far. Uh, anyway, I had some like itinerary there, but it's Puyo. These are hosts in the Amazon. These are our hosts, Indira Vargas. She's a Quechua woman, and I don't have a photo of her husband Andres, which are both, like a political power couple, social movement, academics, researchers, very committed to the indigenous social movements. I don't know if you've listened to the news, but I think they're back on the power, back on leadership of Ecuador with Leonidas. They are very close to Leonidas, so they're surely going to be in that area. Um, Delphine, Andy, and Nancy Giguita are a Quechua Waorani couple. Very interesting stories they both share and have. Nancy, being a Waorani woman, she's one of the granddaughter of Dayuma. I think I have this wrong. She's the daughter of Nayuma, um, uh, which is, if you search your Waorani history, you'll see Waoranis are one of the last tribes of the Amazon that were contacted by Westerners in the 60s, so super recently being in touch with Western culture. So their way of life is really like mind-blowing, and there's so much we can learn from their perspectives and their knowledge. And Isolina, a wizard in the Amazon. She's really a wizard. I'm not really saying that as a joke. She's literally a wizard. Um, we can call her a Yachak Mama or a wise woman. And she visiting her at her house and her home is really a wonderful experience. And anyone can come out of that in a different situation. You can just people can ask Tony about his experiences there too. All right. Some of this is Ovepare with Nancy and Delphine. This is sort of the places we stay at. We walk around. These are discussion areas. This is Isolina's house. We take a we gather around the fire. We go to the river. So a lot of hard work, right? We go to the river, we walk around looking at medicinal plants, we eat, we cook, we go again to the river, and then it's very intense work.
Can I chime in for a second, Juan Mateo? All of these stops are incredible, but this one I think maybe the one that kind of really yeah, it's really stays with students for a couple of reasons. One, as Juan Mateo says, we take a bus from Quito down here, but the bus can't cross the river. So we stop in front of the river, and then we have to get in these small canoes that take us across. It's not a very big river, but it just already makes it special that we have to kind of cross this water to get in. And then, we're encouraged to play in the water, to swim in the water, and to be in community. But the other thing about this experience in this community, they have the no, I'm getting is yes, no, in it's this one in Chivacocha, they have the custom of having a tea called Wayusa, but they drink it in 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Everyone wakes up, and you gather collectively, and you share your dreams, and that's a method of intergenerational knowledge transmission. And the preparation of the Wayusa has its own kind of ceremonial dimensions. The first time I did this, Juan Mateo and Javi explained it to me. I was thought, how are we going to get our UW students up at 3 o'clock in the morning? Everybody was up. Everybody loved it. Everybody was just so present, and it's really something special. And yeah, our hosts are incredible people. They are almost magical, but they are so grounded. And the public health, we'll talk more about this later, but what they did during COVID, people were coming from hundreds of miles around to this community for the healing that Isolina and her plants and the herbs and her medicine would produce. So it really is something. Sorry, Juan Mateo, I just wanted to chime in.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, and because that's as we were saying when we started our introductions, these are our classrooms. This is our learning experience. These are our teachers, and um, we take this as this is a on purpose, right? This is a designed methodology that we're sharing, right? And it is very effective in transmitting knowledge that is not easily transmitted in other ways. So yeah, so I hope we can, as we will sort of build up to our Amazon trip as well as we go along. So it's not something to get overwhelmed about. We will sort of build up to it, and through our pre-info sessions, and even when you get here. So it is it's part of the plan. This is our hotel. Has been our hotel. Hopefully, it will be this year as well. I've already been in touch with Norma. It's a beautiful hotel in Puyo. So after our river adventures, we have a nice bed and hot shower waiting for us. Uh, so it is also a welcoming sight. This is basically just as a reiteration of what we were saying. These are sort of our walking, our talking scenarios or reflecting discussion areas. Things like cooking together, things like, drinking tea together. Of course, there is some also classroom area, classroom space, lecture sort of approach there, but the community is really where it happens. So. That's what I had for now.
That's great. That's beautiful. Thank you, Juan Mateo, for those images, and you're giving me serious nostalgia. Like I know we were just there this past fall, but it just it
Yeah,
always it's a wonderful place to be.
yeah.
Um,
I'm looking forward for. I mean, every year we are talking with Javi is like September is like so far away, but like I want it happening. You know.
It's yeah, and I wanted to say add one more word. Javi and Juan Mateo, they have been one of the ways they have been in touch with these communities is they were part of a large research project around public health and indigenous health. And this, even though that program, which was funded by a Canadian grant, even though that's coming to an end, this program allows us to continue those relationships. And so it's a really wonderful opportunity for us to see kind of the what long-term relationships look like and to be invited in. And this is it just it's a really lovely model that we've been able to kind of co-create with our friends down in Ecuador. And so it's really it really makes us very happy. I wanted to say a word about some nuts and bolts because these are the things that are often kind of the things that students really think about. Money and Juan Mateo's already said an important word about public safety. But I want to just first you'll probably find the information on the website, but the tuition, all of these programs are self-sustaining. So this is not tuition. There's a fee for each program. This fee is just a little bit over $5,000. I don't have the exact figure on me, but you can find it. I can give it to you. What I do want to say is that there are scholarships. As soon as you apply to the program, if you apply by the priority deadline, you are considered for whatever scholarship study abroad has already. So that's automatic. We also have additional scholarships in CHID, which I encourage you to also apply for. There's if you are on financial aid at the university, once you get accepted to a study abroad program, that financial aid gets recalculated to help you with other things like airfare, because the fee does not cover airfare. It will cover most of your meals. It will cover your housing. It will cover all the expeditions from to the Andes to the Amazon, but financial aid is available. So if you have questions about that, please reach out to us and we can help you kind of think through those kinds of things. But the very last thing I want to say is the timing of this program for students is very good because it happens, it's early fall. So the 5 credits that you do in this program means that when you get to school in the fall, you don't have to take a big heavy load. You've already taken 5 credits. So you could take just maybe 1 or 2 classes and be a full-time student if that works for you. Everybody's situation is different, but there's something about the timing that has been really useful for some students. So I want to stop to see if there's important things that anybody wants to mention or if there are questions about the program or anything of what we've said.
Maybe one thing that I'm just gonna throw out there is that there's been a very interesting approach to the two cohorts we had, uh, and it has been an interesting sort of change through each course. For instance, in one of our cohorts was very queer, right? In a lot of diversity, queerness, and it sort of our some of our conversations start in that way. The La Cuica Cosmica is a queer collective, and sort of they sort of had that conversation. And then another of our cohorts was I don't know for some reason it was super like religious, spiritual oriented. And we took that focus as well, right? And so each group is different, so we encourage students that to share their interests and and we can sort of navigate together with students into different interests that students may have. Um, so those are the sort of things that we didn't plan for, but they happened, and I think they really enriched the experience as well. So.
Yeah. No, that was a great point. Oh, Javi, did you want to say something, Javi?
No. I only can say that other important aspect of this course is, especially in the Amazon, we focus the indigenous women knowledge. No, we listen all the experience of the women, indigenous women in the Amazon. No, like the example of Isolina. No, like described Juan Mateo in the presentation.
Yeah, no, that's right. Women are absolutely central. And one additional thing that I wanted just to note about Juan Mateo is uh, just a reminder that he's a also trained as a medical doctor, and there are very few study abroad programs where there is a medical doctor with you all the time. I mean, and that is, I mean, you we'll be with meeting with other healers. Isolina also is a healer, and so she helped me quite directly. Um, we actually there's this one amazing tree where they have it's sort of a sap. It's called Sangre de Drago. Is that right, Juan Mateo? Have I got the name right? Um, and it's this liquid that you can use for wounds. It's almost like stitches. And in our first year, we had a student who partied a little harder than he should have, and had a little mishap, split open his head, and Juan Mateo had his little bottle of Sangre de Drago from the Amazon, and right there we just patched him up, and he was just fine. So
Yeah.
so that kind of care is really important just to note, and that, it makes me feel a whole lot better too.
Yeah. Our first aid kit has, first, first aid medicines, vials and pills and stuff, and herbs and herbal liquids and some, smudges and all sorts of. So it's our first aid kit is also a multi-knowledge medicine there, I guess.
It's true. It's true. Um, River, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but are there any curiosities or any questions that we maybe haven't touched that you might want to raise?
Um, yeah, I guess kind of two things. One of them was I remember you said that like for the study abroad, you don't have to be like enrolled actively. And I guess I was wondering because I'm supposed to graduate in the spring. Yeah, and so then I just wasn't sure about then if there are any like scholarships or other like financial aid available if you're not enrolled. But I don't know if there's like a better person to ask either.
That's a great question. You said you had a second question? Let's take both of them at the same time.
Yeah. And the second one was so I also have a minor in Spanish, and I guess I was wondering if there's like I guess I was assuming yes, but like opportunities to like practice that as well.
River, you are the perfect person for this program. Absolutely. Let me take the second one. I'll go in reverse order. Yes, absolutely. And there's many opportunities. And just to piggyback a little bit about Juan Mateo said about uh, finding a way to bring and connect to students' interest. We had a couple of students this last time that were climbers, loved to climb. And they found their own there was a climbing gym in the neighborhood, and they made friends there, and they went climbing out, like they took a road trip. And so we encourage people to make their own connections and to use your Spanish as much as you can. Spanish language is not a requirement. We translate everything for everyone, so everyone is kind of included. But if you have Spanish, what you get out of the program is just it's amplified, and so that's really great. We have a proud tradition of having many people who make this the last part of their University of Washington career. So we've had many people who have graduated, and this is sort of like the thing they do to it's the cherry on top of the UW education. Like they are, and so I might put you in contact with them so they could kind of tell you kind of what their experience was. A couple of them are actually still on campus as advisors. They work at the University of Washington, so I can connect you. And also Nick Barr, who runs our study abroad office, who he would probably have specific answers about this as well. There are some grants And I would really encourage you to go to, and I know you know about this, but Mary Gates has an office of merit scholarships. There are scholarships specifically for study abroad. So if you have a chance, just they have a database where you can do your own searches, or you can set up an appointment with them, and they will kind of tell you what's available. So so yeah, I think those are all good questions, and you have plenty of time to think about it. So happy to keep chatting about that. I don't know if anybody else wants to say another word about River's questions.
Well, the language question, as Kelsey said, if you have some Quechua under your skills or some Guarani, that would enrich your experience even more. For example, for me, I have like two words in Guarani, maybe three. Every trip add a few more. But Ecuador is it's that it's a very multilingual country. There is, the people we meet in the Amazon, they speak four languages, right? They speak Quechua, they speak Guarani. Many of them are involved in like tourism or different sort of things that abroad. So they have English too. They have in the city or in the maybe some of the English is not super spread, but you know even if you have like very basic Spanish, you will do okay. And if you have no Spanish, you'll do okay too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, does anyone else want to say me a final word about uh, the program or Ecuador or anything that we haven't said that is important or
I would encourage students that are watching this recording to email us, out of the blue, uh, saying, I'm thinking about this, I have these questions, and blah, 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 and we'll take it from there. That will be my recommendation.
that's a good pitch. Kelsey, is there anything you want to leave folks thinking about?
Uh, just as a final note, I also went to Ecuador for the first time, sort of maybe a little apprehensive, not sure what to expect, had spent some time in the Andes, loved my time in the Amazon, and just learned way more than I ever thought I would, which sounds silly. No one knows what they don't know, but it was sort of what Juan Mateo said and Tony and Javi as well. It was on a spiritual level. It was learning to grow outside of my comfort zone, my boundaries. Learning Quechua is extremely humbling, like having a, 2-year-old or less vocabulary to describe. I think my test at the end of the course was to describe just how to get to the bathroom. We were upstairs, you had to go downstairs, take a left, and it was all over the place. So it's a learning environment and we're all super supportive and everyone wants to see you do well. And so the more you can lean into discomforts and kind of push yourself through the other side, the more you'll get out of it for sure.
Javi, any last thoughts?
Uh, uh, Only that is an interesting experience for all the people that assist to this class in Ecuador, because always we have very interesting reflections of the students that assist to this course. It's very, very interesting because it's a life experience, no? That the students in the major percent of the cases enjoy a lot, no? And this is the more important, that you are in good hands, with good people, and you can interchange a lot of experience with the people that you know in this course. No, only this.
Thank you, Javi. Maybe I just want to echo Javi and Juan Mateo and Kelsey that this is a really kind of a life affirming kind of experience. And just to connect to what Juan Mateo said, over the last two cohorts, very different. But the thing that's in common is that everybody took care of everybody else. And at first I thought it was just we got lucky the first time around, but then and I'm like, did we get lucky the second time around? There's just something about being in this place, living together, cooking together, kind of being very intentional about where we are and kind of paying attention to each other's interest and needs and sometimes anxieties, like all those things. It's a kind of a learning environment that's really special. So, and it's also a lot of fun. Like, we have a lot of fun. Like the teaching team has a lot of fun. Our friends, we have, when we got to Mapachache last time, we got to see, I think, 2 or 3 baby cows get born. Uh, Incredible. I mean, we can't promise baby cows next time, can we? I don't know. Maybe we'll have a can.
Well, our group chat from previous cohorts still gets some of updates as how they're growing up.
Yeah, the EquiChid WhatsApp group from 2024 and 2025 is still very active. So these are connections that kind of, continue. Um, so okay, let's keep it short, but thank you all for your attention. Please, River, spread the word with your connections. We love for people to kind of bring their people. Often that's a really nice thing when you come with a friend or someone. Last time we actually had someone bring a cousin who was just starting at UW, was their very first quarter at UW was spent in Ecuador. So yeah, just word of mouth is good, and we look forward to having a great experience. So, um, thank you all. Really, really great to see you.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thanks
Good to
all. Bye,
get to know
River.
you better.
Take care.
Bye.
I'm gonna stop.
Thank you.
Okay.